You ever think about being crazy? I had. I had such a terrible time staying in line. There was always something that caught my attention. My curiosity. Anyway, not staying in line makes you attractive to those in authority. And soon those in authority become concerned and they wonder whether you have the ability to learn the rules. So if you step out of line, you subject yourself to the scrutiny of those in power. I used to wonder why I couldn't conform, why I was always distracted. I knew the punishments. And yet I stepped over the line, stepped off the line, whatever. But anyway, I determined that craziness is both subjective and relative. Because each of us is unique, each of us thinks differently. But we're taught to conform, to be within what society considers as normal. And normal is a floating point, but it comprises the majority of people. Because most people live within the accepted norm of society. That's not to say that they're honest. I mean, they all lie and cheat and bullshit and lie to themselves even. But they're not stepping out of the line. They're off the line. So they're not attractive. They're good little lemmings and sheep. Although they don't see themselves that way, because when they get in their houses, they vent and they pontificate. But when they step out the door, they got the uniform on. I found that boring. I found that difficult. And it's funny, you know, most people don't know who they are, what they are. But they continue struggling within the parameters that society sets up. And they do the best they can. But somewhere in their mind they have to realize that they're subscribing to a society that allows for minimal deaths, for disease, for starvation, for mental illness, for crime. I mean, these things are established within this society, and each of us go on in our day-to-day lives without a concern for these accepted occurrences. I mean, there's a certain amount of people that are going to be born that are going to be dead within 10 years. Who cares? As long as it's not me, right? There's a certain amount of people that are going to starve to death. Again, it's not me, so why should I care? So many people are going to be mentally frustrated. Not my problem. Will you ever wake up and see what you're doing? I mean, that's why some people just go nuts, because they just can't deal with the things that are weighing on their mind. They can't see any way out. We go to school to learn, not to learn something. First you must learn to learn. And then when you become curious, you go to where you need to find the information you want. But the system shoves you through this process to get you prepared as quickly as possible. And you become parrots. Lemmings, imitators. You do as you're told. Which is less stressful. I think. It wasn't for me. I can't imagine why y'all are so comfortable doing it. I mean, obviously I wasted a lot of time before I reached this conclusion, this intensity, this passion. But getting back to crazy, the secret I found after I realized that crazy was both relative and subjective was that one must learn to be able to function within the laws of society and safely voice your objections in a reasonable manner. And at a reasonable platform. I was thinking, that one of these videos that I make, that sometimes that I make them and I enjoy them, I play them back to myself, and I can try to see if I want to say, that's right, man. As if I was listening to someone else. Do you ever think you were crazy?